Requested by Ty Humphreys. Please enjoy the video while you still can.
The Hub is practically one of the things that I actually really enjoyed back in the day. However, I pretty much prefer Discovery Kids more than the Hub. But then again, I was told the Discovery Kids brand started declining throughout the mid to the late 2000s, with various channels shutting down in 2007, alongside with Discovery Kids Canada in 2009. And by 2010, or 10-10-10, the Hub was officially launched. But what was supposed to be is that the Hub was supposed to be a channel that's meant to compete against the big three kids networks, mainly Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney Channel. And then, just like that, the channel went away. Why was the Hub killed, though? What went all wrong for it? Seriously, Hasbro and Discovery did a great job on the Hub to begin with, and yet it failed. What on earth is going on here? How can a promising channel from a respected toy manufacturer flop this badly? This is what went wrong with the Hub network. Before the Hub network, there was Discovery Kids, launched on October 7th, 1996, as part of a suite of 4 digital cable networks, which included Discovery Travel and Living Network, Discovery Civilization Network, and Discovery Science Network. This is primarily aimed towards at children ages 6 through 11. The senior vice president explained that the creation of the Discovery Kids channel was influenced primarily by children who are watching its parent network, the Discovery Channel, and its programming together with their parents. From 1996 to 2000, Discovery Kids was carried by only a selected few cable providers, but by 2001, the channel shortened its name, now calling it just Discovery Kids. And by the end of the year, it was carried at around 50 million homes. In September 2001, a Canadian version of the channel was launched, with help from Chorus Entertainment. In December of 2001, the network ventured into Saturday morning programming on NBC, which replaced Teen NBC, which featured programming featuring live-action shows and sitcoms for teenagers. After TNBC saw its discontinuation, it was replaced by the Discovery Kids Saturday morning programming titled Discovery Kids on NBC, and a nod to Nickelodeon on CBS, featuring reality television series such as Endurance, along with existing Discovery Kids programming, along with children's spin-offs of programs from its sister networks, such as Animal Planet and Discovery Channel. With the launch of the new block, Discovery Kids ventured themselves into making animated original programming with the premieres of Kenny the Shark and Tuttenstein under the banner Real Tunes on Discovery Kids. Unfortunately, Discovery Kids on NBC only lasted from 2002 to 2006, as in March 2006, Discovery decided not to renew its contract with NBC, killing off Discovery Kids on NBC. The reason why Discovery neglected to renew its contract with NBC was because they wanted to focus more on the Discovery Kids channel network rather than the block on NBC. So, Discovery Kids on NBC kicked the bucket, and then on September 9th, 2006, Cubo was launched in its place. In addition to airing in shows aiming at kids ages 6 through 11, they also aired preschool programming, with programming from TLC's Ready, Set, Learn, making it another alternative to Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, becoming more of a oriented Nickelodeon Disney Channel-like channel. And not only that this is basically what I actually love. There was also some other programming blocks like Animal Afternoons and At DK. There were other programs such as Time Warp Trio, The Future is Wild, Growing Up Creepy, Grossology, Flight 29 Down, and Dino Sapien, which saw their releases up onto the channel. Despite most of these shows getting good success, the Discovery Kids brand started declining throughout the mid to the late 2000s. And by later, much of Discovery Kids channels had shut down in parts of the world, including Discovery Kids UK shutting down in 2007, along with Discovery Wings, and Discovery Kids Canada in 2009. Discovery Kids in the US became on autopilot, only having a few shows in constant rotation, leaving the channel to begin stagnating. On April 30th of 2009, toy manufacturer and multimedia company Hasbro announced that it and Discovery would relaunch Discovery Kids to create a new family-oriented television channel, paying $300 million for the 50% ownership of the channel. The company had also invested in almost over $300 million in the joint venture. Under the arrangement, Discovery would be in charge of focusing advertising, sales, and distribution for the new channel, while Hasbro will be involved in acquiring and producing programming, while educational shows, including those would be carrying over from Discovery Kids to the hub, would be slated to be maintained on the schedule. Plans called for new original programs based on Hasbro-owned licensed franchises such as G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, My Little Pony, Transformers, and game shows, adapted from its board game brands. Discovery Communications was looking for a business partner to draw the improved types of advertising on the channel. In July of that year, the joint venture appointed veteran television executive Mark Lulsh, former Fox Kids president, who then later served as president and CEO of Marvel Productions from 1984 to 1990, assisting in the production of several Hasbro tie-in series, such as G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, My Little Pony, and Transformers. In January of 2010, Discovery Kids would become the hub. Then, 2 months later, with the announcement of the hub launching on October 10th, 2010, or 10-10-10. The channel's original imagining was developed by Troika Design Group and was built around an emblem nicknamed the Hubble, which was designed to embody a catalyst of action and imagination. The final logo design was a result of a number of drafts by Troika designers, which sort of had incorporated it similar to Hasbro's logos. The relaunched channel would be competing against established children's channels such as Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, and Nickelodeon. Planned to continue targeting Discovery Kids' main demographic, ages 2 to 12, a market which its staff felt was being abandoned by its competitors in favor of tween programming, but also planned to feature a primetime programming block filled with family-oriented programming. It was originally targeted at preteens and teenagers aged 9 through 14. The launch programming included a game show, Family Game Night, animated television series, Pound Puppies, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, a new animated entry in the My Little Pony franchise developed by Lauren Frost, Littlest Pet Shop developed by Chahel Sporces, Diallo to request reruns of the Jim Henson series, Fraggle Rock, and the preschool-oriented programs, Animal Mechanicals, and the What-Wats. The channel promises to keep the position of the program supplied from Hasbro to be less than 20% of the total of its programming. However, the Children's Television Act, CTA, in the United States limits the commercial time during children's programming and prohibits television broadcasters from airing advertisement for products associated with a program or in time slots, adjusting to the show itself. During the time slots that targeted preschool audiences, aired a block under the preschool block branded as Hubbub. This is basically a replacement to Ready Set Learn, which was discontinued on TLC and moved to Discovery Kids. The Hub was to broadcast 6 minutes of advertising per hour, below 12 minutes per hour on weekdays, and 10.5 minutes per hour on weekends, as mandated by the CTA. Additionally, it was planned to broadcast 10 to 5 minutes of advertising per hour the rest of the day throughout the week, a policy upheld from its previous incarnation as Discovery Kids. The channel was planning to sell its advertising inventories to toy companies other than Hasbro, as well. As reported by Advertising Age in May of 2010, the Hub was even in talks with Mattel, one of Hasbro's major rivals in the toy industry. The channel, however, was planned to restrict certain categories of advertisements, such as junk foods and advertisers in the sugar category. At one point, one vocal opponent of Hasbro's involvement in the joint venture was the CCFC, a campaign for a commercial-free childhood founded by Susan Lin. Was completely concerned that the channel would be exploited by a toy company as a platform to plug its products, ahead of the channel's relaunch as the Hub. Despite this, Loesch also said that Hasbro was partnering with Discovery for the channel and declared, "We have programming from them and are using their DNA." Before the Hub was what became a thing, Discovery Kids, it's ended with a marathon of Kenny the Shark, one of my favorite programs to air on DK. It was broadcasted under the at DK block, running from 6 a.m. Eastern Time to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Immediately after Kenny the Shark marathon ended, the channel was rebranded as the Hub, with Sneak Peek Sunday, a sampler lineup of programs to set to air on the channel in the upcoming months. The Twisted Whiskers Show was the first program to air on the channel, followed by episodes of Dennis and Gnasher, Cosmic Autumn Ray, Atomic Betty, which aired on Cartoon Network, and the channel's premiere of the 2004 film Garfield the Movie as part of the Hub Family Movie Night. In 2011, debt filling the Securities and Exchange Commission, Discovery indicated that the channel may be worth less than recently believed, with on low viewership figurines. The management of the Hub subsequently went under a fair value analysis of the channel. A Discovery communications spokesperson declared the action to be a pro forma accounting exercise, and noting that Discovery felt very positive, encouraged by the Hub's early days performance and ability to grow its audience in the future. However, behind the scenes, Discovery was rolling things back. Nonetheless, yes. Later in the 2010s, the Discovery Kids brand was brought back up internationally, with some of the channels being relaunched, including Discovery Kids in India, alongside with other parts of the world. However, other than India, some of those channels, which were occupied by Discovery Kids internationally, had ceased operations already. Back in America, in March of 2013, after the premiere and after the Hub picked up Stan Lee's Mighty Seven, an animated pilot film that aired on February 1st, 2014, the network also began to phase an amended branding as the Hub Network. And so, on January 13th, 2014, and soon after the Hub was rebranded to the Hub Network introduced an updated logo along with a new Imagining campaign, Making Family Fun, which was developed by the Los Angeles-based agency Alicia Creative. However, despite the Hub's early days being a success, the Hub did not see moderate success, as like Discovery Kids, the Hub was declining, and it really didn't work out for various reasons. For number one, not a lot of people don't have the Hub network since it was on digital cable rather than basic cable. It makes sense because it's on higher tier cable packages. Toy companies like Mattel and Lego neglected to air some of their advertising in toy brands like Hot Wheels or Barbie on a network that's owned by one of their rivals because it's co-owned by Hasbro. Their major rival at this point. They were meant to compete against each other, not have advertising on a channel that's co-owned by another toy company. Discovery never bothered to improve the Hub network from the get-go at all. Well, it makes sense because they were handling distribution and advertising sales for the channel. And also with the rise of streaming and the reliance of not improving the Hub network from the get-go, and since it's more strictly towards more families rather than just children, the Hub network was made very unnecessary. Seriously, the Hub network was completely made unnecessary, and it was a waste of paying a lot of money on this venture between Discovery Communications and another company to help out with the new channel. This is really disappointing because much of my favorite shows that are on the Hub, like Family Game Night, Scrabble Showdown, and Family Game Night, and some of the game shows are actually my favorites. While I prefer Discovery Kids more than the Hub, these are the redeeming qualities I like about the Hub. Is that one, they have family-oriented programming at night, like Alf, alongside with Sister, and I like its Pound Puppies series. It's just so very, funny and just pretty, and it's pretty much, I just love it in this regard. In fall of 2014, Discovery Communications acquired a 10% controlling stake in the Hub network from Hasbro. After that, this is when CEO of the Hub network president Margaret Loesch stepped down from her position. On September 25th, 2014, it was announced that the Hub network would be relaunched and rebranded as Discovery Family. It was stated that with the rise of the on-demand service like Netflix and Hulu, which affected the overall performance of the network, and major toy companies like Mattel refused to purchase advertising time on a network that's owned by one of their toy rivals, this affected its ability to air advertising that targeted its main audience. And by 2014, the network had only made $9 million per year. Discovery staff was unable to display full commitment to the Hub network's operations due to its factors such as the troubled launch of the Oprah Winfrey Network, which was also a notable factor in this whole mess. Believing that they had overvalued its stake in Venture. Additionally, Hasbro themselves decided that they were staking way too much in their joint venture with Discovery Communications, and they chose to cede the operation of the channel over to Discovery, and so it can focus more on content and its core tour business. And so on October 13th, 2014, just a little over 4 years after the Hub launch, it relaunched again as Discovery Family. With these changes, Discovery now held a 60% ownership of the joint venture, while Hasbro remains the measly 40%. The channel space is now broken up into two distinct lineups. Following the relaunch, the network's primetime lineup was replaced by reruns of family-oriented nonfiction programming from the Discovery Channel's library. And during the daytime, much of Hasbro's content remained. However, they are now skewed at kids programming, while the evening and nighttime hours are only reserved for family-oriented programming. However, it really is kind of feel disconnected though. But I'm sure everyone already got used to it. Following this, Future plans for the Hub network were scrapped, and also upcoming new series like Transformers: Robots in Disguise 2015, a show that was a direct sequel to Transformers Prime, ended up moving to Cartoon Network alongside with another Transformers show, Cyberverse. However, according to Koei Animation, this was considered to be a bad idea because what they did to Cyberverse and Robots in Disguise 2015 was terrible. Considering that Christina Miller was president over at that network, yeah, I get why. What Christina Miller did to Cyberverse and Robots in Disguise 2015 was terrible. Saturday mornings at 6:30 a.m. Who the heck would get up at that time in the morning to watch them? And I understand that they're trying to target the male demographic, but honestly, this is the wrong way to do it. Just move them to late to primetime hours, not early morning hours.
But then again, we had Transformers Animated that aired on Cartoon Network before, and it did not have a very great fair time slot as it was in the Saturday morning time slot too.
Fair point. Yeah, we cannot forget about how Cartoon Network treated Transformers Animated, which was bad enough. Thankfully, that show did move to the Hub Network, but apparently nobody did not even learn that Cartoon Network really did not treat Transformers very right and correctly. Every single Hub cartoon and live action show that wasn't My Little Pony or Transformers Rescue Bots got canceled. Not to mention that any type of show that transitioned from the Hub to Discovery Family witnessed their endings. Littlest Pet Shop got canceled due to the backlash from the toy collectors of Earth and the sales from the LPS fandom, because of the new ones that they weren't as great as they used to be. It really hurts for the girls who love that show, because Littlest Pet Shop really needed that 5th season, though. But it just never happened. Following this is various shows like Littlest Pet Shop gotten either revived or gotten separate new shows. Littlest Pet Shop got Littlest Pet Shop: A World of Our Own, which sadly got canceled after one season. My Little Pony Pony Life, which is basically a reboot of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, later made its way to Discovery Family. But despite despite trying to reel in the viewers that they lost, they're not working out. They're not doing so well. The later years of Discovery Family, the way they did Hanazuki, it was terrible. And the way they treated Zack Storm was twice as bad. In February 7th, 2022, CFO Deborah Thomas stated that the company was exploring strategic alternatives for its stake in the channel, citing the growing shift towards cord cutting and streaming services. She noted that the channel had been a terrific investment that had driven over $1 billion in revenue for the company. But there had been changes in the cable industry since. These discussions came ahead of the then upcoming Warner Media Discovery merge to form Warner Brothers Discovery, a transaction which brought Discovery Family into the Family Entertainment Group of the Warner Brothers Discovery Networks. This saw Discovery Family being placed under the oversight of Cartoon Network's president, Michael Allwine, after Tom Ascheim left. Despite Hasbro's report that licensing agreements to produce and broadcast new television shows on the channel ended in 2021, the next annual report stated that its operating agreement with Discovery was renewed to run until March of 2025. But though this was felt months before Hasbro spun off its non-children's entertainment assets and instituted layoffs, according to WBD 2022's inaugural report, neither that the company nor Hasbro took any action regarding the latter's 40% interest in Discovery Family within 2022, when the decision was originally due. The company's non-controlling interest was classified from redeemable non-controlling interest to non-controlling interest outside of stockholders on the company's consolidated balance sheets. Despite continuous financial losses on the channel, Hasbro did not exercise the right by the election period expiration date of March of 2025. After the WBD merger, Cartoon Network shows and Cartoonito shows started coming to Discovery Family. However, there was one question. Why was Discovery Family's name was changed to the Discovery Family channel? Why is this? The reason why Discovery Family's name was changed to the Discovery Family channel, or abbreviated as DFC, was because it was part of a rebranding effort, which was announced in December of 2024 with the new brand name officially launching on Labor Day 2024 last year. This change coincided with the channel's increased interrogation with Cartoon Network, as both channels are now overseen by Michael Owling. So particularly Discovery Family and Cartoon Network are now stepbrothers. The rebranding introduced a new logo and marked a shift in programming, with Discovery Family channel beginning to air more content from the Cartoon Network, including classic Hanna-Barbera cartoons like The Smurfs and Jabberjaw, as well as some series like Cartoon Network 2013's original Steven Universe, which premiered with the new branding. The change reflects a strategic move to align the channel more closely with the parent's network assets under Warner Bros. Discovery. There's your answer. However, while Discovery Family, DFC, feels like a much idea to me, a lot of people were very confused why the logo wasn't changed. But there was one question. Why did the Hub Network fail? The Hub Network failed due to a combination of financial, strategic, and marketing-related challenges. A primary reason was its difficulty in securing sponsorships, as the network's ownership by Hasbro, a toy company, made competing toy manufacturers reluctant to advertise on a network that promoted rival products. This financial strain limited the network's ability to support its third-party acquisitions and original programming. Despite having a few successful shows like My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, which became a major ratings driver, the network struggled to attract viewers for its other content, leading to a perception that it was only worth watching for that one single show. The network also faced intense competition from established kids channels like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney Channel, which had broader appeal and more diverse programming. Additionally, the Hub Network's availability was limited, as many cable providers don't carry the channel, restricting its potential audience. The network's failure to evolve its programming and branding over time, coupled with the lack of strong original content beyond its flagship show, further hindered its growth. Financial losses were significant, and in 2011, a debt filed by Discovery Communications revealed that concerns for the channel's value, leading to a strategic shift. Ultimately leading Discovery Communications decided to prioritize the launch of the Oprah Winfrey Network OWN over the Hub, and Hasbro chose to exit the joint venture to focus on its core toy and entertainment businesses, resulting in the channel's rebranding to Discovery Family in 2014, and it is still here to this day. This is the main highlight here, as financial, strategic, and marketing related challenges are one of the reasons why the Hub was on its downfall. This video is now going to be an honor to celebrate the Hub Network's soon-to-be 15th anniversary. It may not be perfect, but it was pretty creative during its time. While the Hub really isn't really the best channel for me, despite it had a lot of Discovery Kids content that were still in there, I have to talk about its redeeming qualities. Firstly, I love how they recaptured the fun and imagination that it had, characters interacting with one another. They also had Warner Brothers animated content like Tiny Toons Adventures and Animaniacs. This really was a great idea. Alongside this, the hub was actually very crazy and creative, considering that the fact that it tries to recapture the fun and imagination when it comes to those cartoons interacting with one another during characters and promos, those interacting with each other. It is the craziest idea ever. When compared to the generic, modern, and simplistic branding from Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney Channel, this is humiliating and this is embarrassing. As from November of 2023, Discovery Family was available to approximately 28 million paid television households in the United States, down from its peak of 71 million households when it was launched back in 2014. Like, when I look back at the channel, I just want to know what the hell Hasbro Entertainment and Discovery Communications were thinking. I just want to know what the hell they were thinking of. The hub was actually a great idea. Even my family thought it was a great channel. But then again, it all comes down and it stems down to its strategic marketing and other challenges that it just suffered. The hub, we will never forget you and your fantastic creative brandings, especially on how you recaptured having characters and promos and bumpers interacting with one another, and you did not deserve a painful fate that was not deserving of. This has been Tajmi the Random Fan. I hope you enjoyed this video. And have a great day. Sorry for copying your quote, Gamer Alex. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and turn on post notifications, which is the bell right next to the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to share this video and comment. Some requests may be accepted.